is we are a part of a whole system that is intelligent, that is always moving towards learning and growing. And even if we're not trying to learn and grow, the system evolves, and we are all moving in that direction. So the part of the consciousness that we understand, if you make a big circle, that's the collective big consciousness, and then we're just a little dot in that big consciousness, and so that's our little physical reality. When we want to understand the subjective whole reality, we have to be able to let down our guards, open up the pathways, and become like the wave to move in through the collective consciousness. And you can move into other states and other dimensions through this if you practice this more and more. The more you get into it, the more different levels of consciousness, the more experiences that you have. And that's the big thing that Thomas Campbell talked about, that I discovered, is it's all about experience. It's not an intellectual thing, although to translate it so people understand, you have to talk about it to point to the direction of where you go to understand this, to have this experience. But it's all about experience. And once the being, the entity, has the experience, whether it be on a cellular level or on a massive level, that experience brings it into the knowledge and learning, and then you have the free will to make the choices of what you want to do about what you're understanding. And so the consciousness is always evolving in that direction. So even though we feel we are in this finite little physical reality, we also are part of the massive infinite, well, it is finite, but the massive reality of consciousness, which sort of sounds confusing, but it's in, there's consciousness in the planets, there's a consciousness of the Earth, there's the consciousness of the moon and the stars, there's the consciousness of other beings and entities that are out there, there's consciousness in other dimensions, there's consciousness in our, plants, pets, animals. I mean, there's consciousness in everything. So there's no escaping it, even in death.
The universe is created out of consciousness, and even people that come to this earth to be on this physical plane, and then they disappear their body, their consciousness is still around, and it's still out there. And what's interesting with Thomas Campbell, I love how he explains really the other parallel realities that are really existing right now that we don't recognize due to the physical nature of being on this plane, but we actually exist in different realities or dimensions, whatever you want to call them. Our beings are our souls, and by attempting, to lower your, what was that term? Entropy. By lowering your entropy, you could awaken these energy centers or chakras or higher consciousness, however your belief is or however you want to put it, but you could actually awaken that, and you could transcend this reality, meaning you could actually enter out into consciousness, into the void. You could have an out-of-body experience. There's many different things you could do. You could do remote viewing. This is all proven real paranormal stuff that people are able to accomplish, but the people who are able to accomplish it, it's not that they're special or they're gifted or they're any more intelligent than you are. Sometimes it just happens out of coincidence, or it could happen through diligent practice, meaning if you're one to practice meditating every day or lowering your entropy, reducing fear, increasing the vibration of love, you have a lot better chance of experience this collective or higher consciousness. And in order to really know what we're talking about, you have to have some sort of experience to really fathom how powerful it really is, or having an out-of-body experience. To me, it was a life-changing event to realize there's more than what we could physically see. There's a bigger truth than what we've really been told. And to me, that's just phenomenal. And that's why we have the show. We want to, spread this knowledge with everyone we can, because it's life-changing, eye-opener stuff,
Right, because the bottom line right now is consciousness, and you hear this expression, is shifting, and it's evolving, and we're all part of that collective consciousness, and unless you embrace that within yourself and open yourself up within to see what you're all about, you can't experience the other part of the consciousness that's collective. One of the things too is you have to really lower your fear and your ideas about things. One of those are the blocks to opening yourself up to the more of the collective, the higher consciousness levels that we're about to, or we are experiencing right now in our shift in our consciousness. And when I'm talking about shift in consciousness, it's about an awareness that we have power to control our own destiny, to make this a better place to live, to have a better life, to have peace in our life, to have more love in our life, to be compassionate to other people. We have that power, and we don't have to be controlled by, like we saw the last week, the Illuminati and the New World Order, the people that seem to be in power, that keep, controlling us by fear and putting pesticides and fluoride in our water. If you are able to come into that state of being where you can be fluid and open yourself up to something outside of yourself, then you have the power to take part in this shift, in this consciousness, and control over not only your own life but the destiny of our planet and our universe. So it gets that big if you look at it that way. Mostly the consciousness is in the cells of the body. Usually when you're working on yourself, a lot of the dark, deep, unconscious things come up, they rise up in us, and then we say, well, I don't want to go any further because that makes me have a bad feeling, or I don't understand why I'm thinking these thoughts or having these feelings, and that's because